Yo, 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 what's good, YouTube? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back welcoming you to our Sunday morning call-in show with Stormybman answering the bell. Yes, for this Sunday, February 20th, 2022, and this is number 27. We are rolling right along with the call-ins, and we're hoping to grow this show in a manner of which people can come here, call in, and talk about their favorite sport, the sport of boxing, and have interchanges and exchanges of information here with Stormy B Man as we speak on that which we really enjoy. That's the sport of boxing. Welcome everyone that's out there. I see we got a number of people that's in the building straight off the bat. I can only go back as far as I see the Queen, Sister Kwee out there saying, "What's happening?" Okay, welcome to the show, Sister. And we got Macada's Mac of the South out there saying, "Salute my brother, King." Stormy B, man. Let's see, I might be able to go back a little bit further on a different page. Let me see if I try this for a moment. It might work, it might not, but I'm trying. Because I try to acknowledge everybody. You know, when people come in, 704 Joe was up there early. I could see a little bit of what he wrote up there. He was saying, "Let's go." And then we had Kwee on there. Okay, I think I can get it now. Macadus Mac, I said that. 704 Joe again in the building saying, "Hit the like button." G5 Gabe is out there saying, "Salute Sensei." Stormy B Man and the chat family. We got kind of Loco Sports out there saying, "Salute to you, brother." King Jr. is out there saying, "Salute Stormy B Man in chat." Boxing and Barbecue is back saying, "What's up, Stormy? Good morning." Good morning to you, brother. Let's see, everybody else is saluting one another. Andrew Charles in the building saying, "Good morning, everybody." Good morning to you as well. And Jose Diaz is back saying, "Salute Stormy B Man in chat." Mr. Mechanical is in the building saying, "What up, OG Stormy B Man? What up with you, brother?" And he's saying good morning to everyone else. And Macadus Mac of the South says, "Remove your shoes, bow, smash the like button, people, when you enter Sensei, the Grandmaster's temple." That's right, When you take your shoes off, that's a form of respect. So you know what to do when you enter the dojo, Don't have to remind you. Otherwise, it's to the back of the class. Salute to the brother Alvin Davis in the building early with the super chat. Saying, "Salute Stormy B Man and chat." Salute to you, brother, and thank you for your donation to the show this morning. We appreciate you, and thank you for getting up early to hear the call-in show. You guys are out there. I put a poll out there for you this morning as well, since we're coming off the fights last night with Jaime Munguia, victory over Demetrius Ballard. And the poll is simply asking, who would you like to see Munguia face next? Would it be Jamal Charlo? Would it be Triple G? Would it be Arasande Lara? Or Zanabek? Alamik Hanoli. This gentleman is a person that we don't know much about, but usually when guys have names like that, people don't want to talk about them because they don't know nothing about these guys. But they are out there. And usually, they're kind of difficult as far as challenging for these belts. So, I don't know. I put the poll together. You guys can decide on the poll who you would like to see Mr. Munguia fight next. But I really think they drew us in last night with that fight. They pulled one over on a lot of the boxing public. They didn't pull it over on me. But you have to understand, when you go into a fighter's hometown, which Tijuana, Mexico, can't get more down home than that, Mr. Munguia was having a party, and he was the host and the guest. So when they brought someone in there to entertain, you better believe that that person was going to have to dance to Mr. Munguia's music. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened, huh? When the beats started thumping upside Mr. Ballard's head, the referee got to waving, huh? Throw your hands in the air like you just don't care, and we gonna get Mr. Ballard out of there. Yeah, that's what it was, and that's what you saw. And some people were unhappy with that stoppage, but I kind of saw the writing on the wall, huh? Yeah. Did you notice that place where they had the fight, they didn't have much light up in there? Most of the light came from the ring setup with the lights over the ring and everything. But even in the back where they were dressing and everything, they had some spotlights and flashlights back there. Flashlight, they flipped them damn flashlights, and they was back there getting their hands wrapped and everything. So that's how it was, man. So Mr. Ballard walked right into a den of lions, huh? And he was bleeding, huh? Yeah. And you saw what happened. He was devoured. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to talk about a little bit this morning, man. Just glad to be back with you guys. Glad for you to be back here with me this morning. It's nice to see some people came in and smashed the like button. Some people came in, hit the like button and left. Like people who always try to come to the barbecue, grab a plate, and run on out the door. Or they the ones that tell their kids, here, go take this and put this in the car. Don't you just kind of wish those kind of folks go away? They'll come empty-handed but leave fully packed like they going from the grocery store, huh? From your house, huh? And they got more kids than you. Even if you don't have no kids, they feeding everybody in their family off of your back, huh? And the first one's there, empty-handed. Man, if you don't go sit your butts down somewhere with that foolishness, huh? But they out there. Yeah, Stormy, no. You got relatives just like I do. I know you know what I'm talking about. I know. This is springtime almost. Wait till this summer and you start barbecuing. Them same folks I'm talking about gonna show up at your crib at the barbecue, asking you, hey, what you got, man? What you doing over there on that grill? Huh? Boxing and barbecue. You know what I'm talking about. Huh? First ones to show up, man. They need to go sit their butts down somewhere, coming up in your house. Hey, and like a comedian once said, hey, they show up at your house, huh? And they carrying some bags, but it ain't nothing. Like, they not bringing any drinks, any snacks, any side dishes. They showing up at your house with Tupperware bowls. It's like, man, if you don't get the hell off my doorstep, take your microwave dishes and everything and get your ass back in your car and go home. Don't come over here like that. Take your ass to the grocery store, huh? Because this is Stormy B, man. This ain't the soup kitchen. What you doing over here? And y'all coming in a single file line. Y'all ain't never lined up single file in your lives, even when you was told to in school, and you showing up on my doorstep. Is that a spoon and a fork fell out your pocket? What if you don't get away from my house, huh? That's why I don't announce barbecues, huh? If I'm doing it, I'll wake up out my sleep and say, I'm going to barbecue this morning. Get up and do it and be done before the rest of the fools get up. They just wake up smelling, somebody barbecuing today. No, somebody done grilled already, huh? Since you get up at 11:30, quarter to 12, 1 o'clock, huh? Can't get up early. You looking, sniffing around. But it's done already went down, huh? Go sit down somewhere, because Stormy is done, huh? Yeah. And I don't do the holiday thing either. Oh, it's the 4th of July. Let me barbecue, huh? I'll be barbecuing on the 2nd or the 6th. Yeah, huh? You miss me? Oh, man, I couldn't get to the store. Sorry. Send them somewhere else. Let them eat up other folks' food, huh? But you ain't gonna eat up mine. Look here, I had a neighbor, man. He used to always be peeping over my fence, huh? When I get out there in my backyard and do stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, this dude was white. You know, him and his wife, they over there next door. I guess I was the last straw because when I moved in, a couple years later, they moved out. But I guess the neighborhood was going a little too dark for them, so they had to get the hell up out of there. But when I would get my grill fired up, that dude was always, you know, peeping. And they didn't announce that they were selling their house or nothing, right? They didn't announce. But do you know, this fool came over there one day. I had done something light on the grill, some chicken wings or something, you know, Polish sausage, whatever. And he asked me, hey, would you like some of this? What was that he was growing in his yard? He was growing some peppermint and a couple of other things. You know, he's like, hey, would you like some of this? He's like, it's overgrowing and this and that. And I'm like, man, you know what? Not really, you know, because I ain't want nothing from him. Get away from me. I know what's going on, right? That fool asked me. Now, you know, people got gall when they ask, huh? Hey, what you got there on? Hey, can I try some of that? See, he knew he was leaving soon. So he got the gumption up, you know, got his nerve up. I saw his nuts hanging from his chin, huh? That's how tight he got. Hey, can I try some of that? It sure smells good. I was like, yeah, man, here you go. Plop something on his plate. He was smiling, you know. A few months later, that sucker was moved away. But you know what? He's like, I sure had to taste some of that boy's barbecue. That shit was smelling so good over there. Couldn't get away from there till I tried some. Yeah. Dude, they envy you, huh? They want to be you, huh? They want to live like you, huh? To a certain extent, of course. But they don't want to trade places. No, like Chris Rock said, they don't want to trade places. Even if you rich, huh? I'll ride this poor white thing out. I see you. Because I know the wheel going to turn. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Stormy saying some stuff this morning you probably wasn't expecting me to say. But you know what? That's why you need to tune in. Because you just never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Because we bring it that way. It's the call-in show. The lines is open. What you gonna do? Huh? What you gonna do? Going back into the chat, we had some more people pop up in here. Mac of the South said, you ain't lying. Jose Diaz says, it's messed up. Yes. He says, soon as a weather break, they'll be around. Mr. Mechanical. Boxing Barbecue says, yes, barbecue season is amongst us. Mac said they still do that now, today. Yep. Mm-hmm. You better believe it. Jose Diaz says, then they leave your house all for the trash and don't help to clean. But that's what happens when you invite people, I guess. Hey, Jose Diaz, I'm a man of few words, okay? Who said anything about invite? Huh? If I invite you, that's special. You got folks that show up uninvited, bro. Yeah. That's why I got a no stop drop by rule, huh? Because if you stop and drop by, you might get dropped on the doorstep, huh? People don't come knocking and ringing on my door. You might find yourself laying right there in front of it, huh? Yeah, because I take everything as an imminent threat nowadays. I don't know what your intents are, huh? With Stormybman, phone first is still the order of the day, huh? And selective choicing, huh? I could see your number calling. I ain't got to answer it for what? I was busy. I was asleep. Calling me, huh? Y'all do that shit to me. I pick up the phone and call some of y'all. You're out here in the community. I pick up the phone and call you. Oh, yeah, I hit you back. Huh? And, Stormy don't blow people's phone up. So if I'm calling you for a reason, even if it's just to drop something on you for like 2-3 minutes, man. Even though a conversation with me, person to person, don't have to be 2-3 minutes because I ain't like that. You know what I mean? I'm a person of depth. But at the same time, y'all know who you are. And I'm putting it out there. Yeah. I told you I'm going to become the person that people really don't like sometimes. The old man, the OG, as you want to call him, sometimes just ain't got no filter. It just come out his mouth. And damn, I hate it because he right. Damn him. Yeah. That's what they'll say. But no invites, huh? I ain't invited in a long time. If I ain't seen you in a long time, oh well. Yeah. Mr. Mechanical says, facts, Stormy. You know it's true. OG Eric in St. Louis is out there saying, salute, Stormy B, salute to you. Jose Diaz says, Stormy, that happens all the time. Judah Ben Israel is out there today saying, Stormy B, man, peace, guys, peace to you. Macadus Mac is laughing. Queequee says, they wouldn't get in either. You damn right, but they can get the hell out because when they hear those shots busting off, pow, pow, pow. You ever seen roaches scramble when the light turn on? Yeah. That's how they'll be scrambling up out of there, Queequee, when, you rang the doorbell and you didn't phone first and you did, pop, pop, pop. Hey, everybody scrambling to the car. You hear car doors clamming. Bloom, 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 bloom. Cars driving up down the street. There you go. Hey, 518 in the building. What's good with you? Is that my man K-Rod? What's good?
Hey, what's up, Stormy?
Yeah. What's going on, K-Rod? How you doing this morning, brother?
Not much. Just doing good. How's everything with you?
I'm in a good mood today, man. In a good mood. It might last about 5 minutes, though, but, I'm there. I can get there from time to time, But brooding is what I do. Yeah. What's on your mind, man?
And I want to talk about the fight last night. I wanted to talk about the Brook and Amir Khan fight. Well, actually, I wanted to talk about the Jaime Munguia and Demetrius Ballard fight. But I wanted to get your take. Do you think Jaime looks drained at 160? Because I saw the weigh-in, and he looked like he wasn't in good shape. But then, for some weird reason, on fight night, he just comes out, blazing hot and knocks out Demetrius Ballard. So I have like a little.
It was all a part of the show, K-Rod. It was all a part of the show, man. Jaime a damn good actor, ain't he? He can get a starring role in some of the Mexican action films, man. He laid out after the weigh-in and everything and was shivering and shaking like a cat that was caught in a hurricane, huh? Yeah. Then comes out and knocks the guy out like no problem. People bought into that crap. They was like, oh, he didn't look good at the weigh-in. Hey, 2,500 on Ballard. Yeah, okay. And look at Ballard. As soon as he got hit across the forehead, the guy forgot where the canvas and feet come together, huh? And he was all over the place. Yeah, that's what they do, man. Listen, you have to stop buying into the BS. If you really know how the sport of boxing works, they set people up so well. First of all, who going to Tijuana to watch that? Nobody. So they going to tune in on TV. So quite naturally on TV, you figure, man, it's out there in Tijuana. Ain't nobody but Jaime's family and cousins and stuff like that. So Ballard might upset him. And they were showing all these highlight clips of Ballard banging people to the body and stuff. Not knocking them out, though. Just landing some decent shots. It's different if he's hitting people to the body and they fold up like an accordion and go down and writhe on the canvas in pain and all that. That wasn't part of his highlight reel. His highlight reel was landing shots. Okay, shots land in a fight. You got a 10, 12 round fight. Yeah, shots are going to land. So if I take every clip of a shot that you landed and put it together on the highlight reel full of different guys, it can make you look real good, can't it? And then Jaime comes out there as soon as he touches you, solidly. You all over the place, huh? Looking like Freddie Shakes out there. Don't fool me, man. But I laughed. That's why I was ready to go live so fast after the fight. I had my monitor on right here and had the laptop with my finger over the live button like this. Because I knew, hey, man, you ain't getting me with that. You ain't getting me with that. He just came off of a tough fight against Gabe Rosado. So if you think they was going to put him in with another tough dude right away, huh? No, that ain't how they do it in boxing, bro. That ain't how they do it in boxing. So let that be a lesson. Know what you're looking at. Survey the landscape. And if you take a couple of sniffs and whiffs in the air, something smells of foul. Yeah, it's boxing. I'm telling you, that's what it is, K-Rod. That's no more, no less. But they had people. You know, if you ever fished in your life, huh? You'll find that you can cast some bait out there, you won't get a nibble. Then you could cast some bait out there and they might nibble a little, you know, you'd be like, But then there's certain kind of bait you can use. Typically live bait, especially when you want to get the bigger fish. You know, put some crawfish on that hook or something. You cast it out there, them big dogs come for that. So you got to be ready to pull that pole up out the water. You understand? You got to get ready. That's if you're an experienced fisherman, though. But if you just learning, you be sitting out there for days talking about, man, I got to find a new spot. They ain't even biting over here. Well, they was biting in Tijuana last night. You could believe that. And the ref was right there to help the show. Just in case Jaime's punching power wasn't up to snuff. Because, you know, he fell out at the weigh-in and everything. So they just wanted to ensure that everything was going to be all right. Yeah. And they did, huh? And the hype train moves on. Next city, please. What you think about that, K-Rod?
I think it's absolutely disgusting because it's like Jaime knows that. I mean, look, I like Jaime Munguia, but if I was like working with this team, I would tell him straight up, like, dude, like, you can't be fighting at 160 anymore. Like, if you're gonna be, showing signs of weakness, of coming into a weigh-in and then come fight night, you're just blowing dudes out. It's like, at least step it up, because like Jaime knows, he's, ready for that world championship level, contention. But at the same token, he's not so sure what type of style he's going to run into. And I think his trainer, Eric Morales, knows that. And they have been carefully moving him, a certain direction to make sure that Jaime doesn't get, blown out by somebody that, we don't know so much about yet.
But K-Rod, I'm trying to, I couldn't hint at it no stronger. It wasn't nothing wrong with him. That was all a facade. That was fake at the weigh-in. That kid making 160 fine. He was weak at 154. You could see that. But he's totally filled out at 160 right now, and he'll probably max out at 168. But there was nothing wrong with that kid. Nothing. They drew people with that into a unsafe place of, where when you spend your money and stuff like that. There was no way that Ballard had a chance. When he signed the contract, they knew who they were signing to a fight. You just heard me say, again, I gave indications. He's coming off a tough fight against Gabe Rosado. So they're not going to put this kid in with somebody who can bring all of that to crashing down. They're not going to do that. And if you watch enough boxing, you can see the writing on the wall for some of this stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you something. They will put him in there with Charlo. They will put him in there with Lara. They will put him in there with, guys like that. But people like Andre, no, that's kind of risky right there. Huh? And Canelo is a non-consideration because they have to keep the Latin audience invested. You can't knock each other off, when you're at that level, because there's not a lot of you. So they want to make sure, and what's even worse is they never say their names in the same freaking sentence. They will not say Jaime Munguia will fight next week, and then 6 months later, Canelo Alvarez is going to take on. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that because that's subliminal, painting messages. This is why you could see the racism in the sport when they talk about someone like Devin Haney. George Camboso defeats Teofimo Lopez, and the other titleists out there being Haney, and they say stuff like, well, Vasily Lomachenko should get a second chance. What? It's like you skip the guy who you should be talking about. Because remember, if you say the name, it equates people. They start thinking of them together in the same sentence and now together in the ring together. They don't want to do those things. This is why. It's gamesmanship. And if you don't understand that, we have content creators and channels out here that talk about it all the time. They may express it in ways that may turn you off. But the fact remains, this is how they play the game. You notice how certain networks don't mention certain fighters? It's like, the fighters in the world. It's like, you're talking about champions of the world, and you can't even talk about the other champion unless he's only on your network or signed to a promoter that your network, shows their fights or something. Remember the PBC, all those television broadcasts, and you had the welterweight division real tight and heavy with all these names? And Manny Pacquiao wasn't with PBC at the time, but they would say his name because he had an international audience. Okay? But Terrence Crawford, over on ESPN, they wouldn't say his name. But he's like a multiple division champion, and he's done some things in the sport or whatever. Where's the respect at? That's why when we used to read the boxing publications, it was better because you could read about who's who. Now, they may have articles featuring individuals, but you would always see the ratings, the names, and everything right there. Why do networks be omitting people? Why do the networks omit the records? You saw Vasily Lomachenko, who was on ESPN, and when they show him on there, they show his record without a loss. I'm like, what kind of stupid stuff is that? It's like you are actually, erasing the fact that the man has lost just to promote the fact that he's good and we want you to see him and everything. Man, it's horrible, bro. But we talk about it every day on these airwaves. We're always talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible, man, because it's like, I had like a similar conversation with another fighter that I was chatting it up with. I was talking with Mark Reyes Jr. about it, and he kind of made like a good point to me, saying that, if you're not with the right particular promotional group, they're going to try to phase you out and try to freeze you. And then they're going to try to talk about, the mainstream fighters before they talk about any unknown, underdog fighter. Hence why, when you see a upset happen in the sport of boxing, a lot of people don't know who that fighter is because, the promotion behind that fighter wasn't promoted the right way leading up to that fight.
Right. And this is why, you have to be very consistent with what you do. I'm never all over the place. I might take you on a trip with an analogy that I'm kind of speaking on, but I know how to bring it back home and tie it all up together in a nice bow and set the package right in front of you. You can either accept that package, kick it around, whatever. But the one thing you'll find is it's solid, huh? So when you go to kick it around, you might hurt your toe, but that's how Stormy does it for you. And salute to, I see Drew Titan out there, Bruce Goals out there. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you brothers dropping in. Winston Lee is out there. Big Texas, ATX Cletus Smith is in the building. Dwayne Jones. G5. I see all of you guys out there. I appreciate you coming in. Some people just stopped by to hit the like button, fell off, and then some people hanging around to see if Stormy gonna say something about them too. Just be patient. It's a lot of y'all. I gotta work my way around, but you know, I got something for everybody. You better believe it. But yeah, what else you got, K-Rod? If you got something else on that, we can talk about it real quick. Otherwise, I'm get you off, see if someone else wants to call in. I don't do the multiple calls at one time like some of the other brothers. I haven't got that advanced yet.
Yep. Two more things that I wanted to bring up. I just wanted like your thoughts on the Jermaine Ortiz Nahir Albert fight and the Paul Kroll versus Marquise Taylor, and then I just wanted to know about what the Virgil Ortiz fight. Do you think Virgil Ortiz will move on to become a mandatory soon?
They're gonna try to regarding Ortiz. They're gonna try to position him. See, that's what the you have to understand that the Garcia camp family promotion thing. What they try to do is they try to position guys, and that's an assured way of getting what they want. They're coming in through the side door. They're not coming in through the front door, you know, and they do that with their affiliations, associations, and everything with sanctioning bodies and promotional companies and things of that nature. I don't like it. That's the ugly side of boxing as well. If your guy's good, let him go out there and prove it in the ring. But just remember, after Boots Ennis' last performance, when they were asked about the possibility of Virgil facing Boots, you know, Garcia camp was like, what? Maybe in about 3 or 4 years, huh? Yeah. That's brazen, isn't it? That's really brave. That's macho, huh? That's showing that your guy is the man to be on the lookout and everything for, right? Psh, go sit down somewhere. He barely got past Green Beans himself. If you guys didn't see how hurt he was against Green Beans, who had no way because he wasn't experienced enough to finish the kid off, he was lucky to get through that damn fight with Green Beans. And I call him Green Beans because everybody else call him Green Beans like that too. But yeah, he had difficulty there. And just like when King Rye found trouble with Campbell, huh? They pumped the brakes after that, didn't they? Matter of fact, King Rye's brakes, they burned out the brake system, the hydraulics and everything. So his car been in the shop ever since. But with Virgil, they pumped those brakes and they said, slow things down a little bit. That Stanionis guy that we were thinking about picking off, maybe we shouldn't even go that route now. Maybe we should just go a different route. And that's what they chose to do. If you're good, it don't matter because you could take them all on. And if you take them on before becoming the champ, becoming the man, you don't have to worry about defending against them once you are the man. That's the old man's formula, huh? But these guys up today, they try to keep safe, huh? Walking around on eggshells all the damn time. But eggs break if you hit them at the right angle. The shell is its strongest from its peak to its base. But everything in between is up for grabs. Yeah. Now, what was the other two you said?
The Jermaine Ortiz versus Nahir Albert fight and the Paul Kroll versus Marquise Taylor fight.
Okay, those two guys, those two fights. I don't know a lot about those guys. I'm going to have to look into that, so I will hold back on, commenting on that. Now, are those 2 matches that are on the come up? Are they scheduled or something?
It already happened. It happened this past Friday on the Showbox.
Oh, okay. And see, you know what?
Yeah.
I was doing my Friday night chop session when that show was on. I think KQKC did a call on that, if I'm not mistaken. But I was live doing my live stream Friday night when that was happening. And that's why I don't know anything about it. I didn't even go back to review. I knew that there was a Showbox card that night, but I wasn't interested in it. And so that's just me. I don't get into the prospects and the young guys so much like that. They got enough of a mess at the top that they need to start making guys fight, because it's just going to get cluttered up. But, yeah, there's always, I look at it like this, and I liken the sport of boxing a lot like football. Football, every year, the college draft and everything, you got people want to come up. They have the camps and all of that. In boxing, it's a lot similar. The camps for boxing is the Olympics. And, every year you got amateurs coming out, regional champions and stuff like that, world champions from the amateurs that didn't compete in the Olympics or just missed the Olympics or stuff like that. And there's always someone on the come up. So these fighters, they do have to go somewhere. Otherwise, they're going to get pushed to the side. And in boxing, if you don't have a promotional group behind you, a solid management group or something like that, there are fighters who are kind of indiscriminate right now out there that could be facing world champions and everything, but they don't have the right promotion behind them, right push or whatever. Bud Crawford was one of those guys. As skilled as he is and everything, he was not one of those that had a ticket like a Shakur Stevenson ended up having or something like that. And again, when you get good people behind you, they can bring you so far, but then somebody's going to have to pass you off to another entity to help get your foot in that door. We see it all the time. And it sucks, but that's the way it is. Because there's a bigger, deeper, darker hand that oversees everything in this world that we live in. And all that stuff is connected. You better believe it. That's why Stormybman gonna remain a little bitty channel like this, about an inch tall. And they even trying to cut some of the inch off. Huh? Yeah. Because if I became larger, then I would have to maybe compromise some principles or something like that. And I ain't into compromising. Huh? I'll just shut it down and do something else. Yeah. But those are my thoughts on that, K-Rod.
I appreciate it. I'll definitely chop it up again with you, and I appreciate the phone call. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother. Catch you again on the next time, bro.
Yep.
Peace.
Thank you.
All right, great call from the brother K-Rod. He's always calling in with some information, and he has an opinion, and he exercises it. I love that. Let's get somebody else call in. What you guys want to talk about? Huh? Call on in. Do that solid. I saw the sister Kwee out there. Call in, Kwee, because I know you got some stuff to say. We want to hear you. Huh? Encourage her, G5. Tell us, go on and call in, sister, and see what the sensei got to say. But, yeah, man. You got all these young prospects and stuff. They're going to have to go somewhere, aren't they? They're going to have to get weeded out. Huh? Dwayne Jones says, you never know how good young fighters are until they start fighting each other, along with the journeyman that they're supposed to beat or learn from. Guys don't seem to have the cortisone today to do so, though. Well, that's because they're being discouraged. When you don't have the proper teacher, huh? The proper teachers aren't afraid to put their subjects in to be tested. Think about the film The Karate Kid. Pat Morita when he was teaching Danielson, Mr. Miyagi, he was preparing Danielson for far more than just physical fights. He was preparing his heart, his head, to be able to be in unison with his physical ability and to be able to think through what he's doing. Because as so the mind goes, the body follows. If you're just a physical specimen, then that's what you'll be, a physical brute, But brutes can run into other brutes and be beaten down by brutal physicality. But a cerebral, spiritual, wholesome guy that has all of that connected can be versatile in that. It's important. Learn those things. Learn them. They are principles, virtues. Let me go back a little bit. The chat is talking amongst themselves now. We got 53 likes, but only 37 watching. So where's everybody? Where everybody at? Khan Shonery says, I think Munguia is definitely ready for a step-up fight. He's almost 40 fights in, so it's time. I get him in with an Andrade or a Triple G, even perhaps a Chris Eubank Jr. There you go. I'd accept a fight between he and Chris Eubank Jr. Andrade ain't going to happen because Andrade is already going up to 168. Triple G should not be considered an option because Triple G is a farce. He's a fraud. Okay, good morning. We got 214 in the building. Who we got there? 704 Joe?
No, good morning, Stormy. I'm sorry. Boxing and Barbecue.
Boxing and Barbecue. Okay, my man. What's good with you? How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Today is a good morning. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
How you doing this morning, Stormy?
I'm sorry you faded out. What'd you say?
I'm sorry. I said, how you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. In very good spirits this morning. You know, from just before the show went live, I'm feeling pretty good. But like I told K-Rod, that might last a few minutes, you know, because I'm more of a brooder myself. I'm a brooder fussing dude, man. I fuss because I think I can always do it better. I think that other people should do it better, pull up their bootstraps and everything. And I get sour on the fact that such laziness and apathy is around us in our society. I'm complaining, man. So don't ask me too much of that stuff because I don't want to bring you down.
No, it's all good. I feel like the older I get, the more disgruntled I get. I don't know. I guess it's because I'm turning to an old black man.
Exactly. Did you ever hear Chris Rock talking about old black men? He said, man, old black men are some of the most prejudiced, racist dudes in the world. He was like, the older a black man get, man, he be complaining and he be talking about people and he don't care who he cussing out or whatever. He ain't lying, man. He ain't lying. I am becoming that dude every day, bro.
And I'm embracing it, though. I don't even mind.
Yeah.
The crazy part about it.
You know, it's like in that movie Mandingo when they had captured the runaway slave dude and they had him up there on the horse and everything and they was getting ready to hang him. And he was like looking around and he told all them folks, he was like, and when you hang me, you can kiss my ass. It's like, he didn't care. He was like, if you let me down, I'm still going to try to kill all y'all and get away. Man, I love that stuff, bro.
Yeah, but
you got to.
But so last night I didn't know how heavily invested, and I apologize because I was away from the phone for a hot second. But I didn't know I was so invested into that Brook fight until I saw Brook come out, you know, his walkout. Man, I was so pumped. I was yelling at the screen. You know what I'm saying? I was super excited.
I know, right? And you know what's funny too? when it was all over, Brook talked about it in his post-fight interview he gave. He talked about the fact that they made him change his gloves, you know, because his hands was wrapped already. They had been messing with that man all through the promotion, press conferences, weigh-in, everything. He even said that in the middle of the night, somebody was banging on his hotel door trying to break his sleep 3 and 4 in the morning. You know, they were doing all kinds of stuff. But Brook was so dialed in and focused, man. Khan was going to get beaten up that night because he fought with a direction. You know, he was focused and dialed in on what he wanted to do, and he did just that. It kind of reminded me like of fights like when Evander Holyfield fought Mike Tyson for the first time, or certain other fights when a guy, it's a fight that you really, really want against a person you really don't like, but it's not only to prove to yourself, but prove to the world, this dude ain't on my level. He ain't, you know, nothing, this and that. Y'all got it all pegged wrong. And that's what that turned out to be for Kell Brook last night. So I'm happy for him. And I spoke on my post-fight show last night about him. I was glad to see him not get himself disqualified, because that could have been a part of it too. You know, it could have easily gone that way because you so want to get at the guy, you kind of lose your discipline. And, you know, and he didn't do that. He didn't do that. And he punished Khan somewhat, you know, and that was a good thing to see, because Khan is the kind of guy you need to shut his mouth, you know, and boy, did Brook do it. I think he hurt him in the first round with a jab.
He did.
You know?
He did. Yeah, I was so excited, man. I just felt bad for Brook, man. I just think he had a bad hand, you know what I mean? I wouldn't say his whole entire career, but, you know, just before he had fought Porter, you know, nobody really wanted to fight him like that. You know what I'm saying? He got that, you know, Sean Porter, of course, fight everybody, and he gave him that shot or whatnot. But, you know, I didn't know that Kell Brook had been, you know, until the announcer said something, that Kell Brook had been chasing that fight for like 18 years. That's what they said anyway. I was like, damn, 18 years? That's a long time to be wanting to whip somebody's ass.
Yeah. Because, see, they go back. They got that UK history between them. You know what I mean? We know about the professional histories of fighters, you know, especially when they start fighting on the international stage, but you don't know what they were doing in the gyms and the amateurs and stuff like that, you know, until, you know, that gets put out there because it's from a different part of the world. But, yeah, understandably, could you imagine what was going on between those two cats, you know, so long ago? It was like that had to be awful. You know what I mean? It had to be awful for either guy, because and you can kind of see that it's been Khan who didn't want to make the fight, you know, and I think it's because he's enjoyed everything that's been offered to him without the fight. You know what I mean? And it's like it basically ran his gamut. He can't go nowhere else. So all I got now is Kell. So he gets in there with Kell, and now the book is shut. It's done. And now he need to go sit his ass down somewhere, because that kid is shot. It's not about him not being able to take a punch. He's shot. And it can happen to people. It just happens, man. You wonder all of a sudden when a person falls off the hill like that, it's like, what happened? But don't forget, people, guys get beat up in the gym all the time. You see their professional matches, but you don't see the sparring that takes them through. And especially if you got a guy who's been fighting since he was a child, you know, 9, 10 years old, that's a lot of punches on the head, you know, and everybody has an expired date. It's like you know, some guys can go on and may have had 60, 70 fights and they don't talk punchy or anything. And then you got a guy that fought 35, 40 fights and he's slurring his speech. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Stormy. I just felt so bad for Brook, man, because Khan talked to him like a dog. You know what I mean? He was that press conference. It was funny, but then, you know what I'm saying, it pissed me off at the same time. Khan told that man, he said, hey, don't go around telling people that we share rooms. When I saw Kel Brook face, I saw Kel, it was funny, but I want to slap his, excuse my language, I want to slap the shit out of his head at the same time. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait, man. I hope he, you know what I'm saying? I hope he dog Khan. That's exactly what he did, man. I was happy to see it. I think what surprised me, and you just alluded to this right now, but what surprised me is, I mean, we all make jokes about Khan Chin, but man, I didn't know it was that sensitive. I mean, I don't even know if the jab, hit him flush in the first round, but you know what I'm saying, to get hit like that and to, to immediately go on skates, I was like, damn, his chin weaker than what I thought it was.
I'm telling you, this is how you know that a lot of the trainers of today should be banned from the sport, man. From the fact that they don't know when to throw a towel in to save their fighter in a match where the fighter is being, dealt with handily to the point that they can be injured, to the point that they don't know how to properly teach technique and give instructions and guidelines and have game plans for actual matches, to the point that they think they're having a toothpick in their mouth with a towel thrown over their shoulder and holding up some mitts for the guy to target, that's being a coach. It's not. And I wish that we can get those guys out of here. Out of here.
Hey, Stormy, real quick, I don't mean to cut you off, but when you said that with the toothpick, I thought about that Rocky movie, that trainer with the black dude with the bald head,
yeah,
toothpick in his mouth.
Yeah, throw in the damn towel. Yeah, Apollo's coach. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, listen, man, you gotta know the difference. There are coaches and trainers that would have, like an Emmanuel Stewart. I'll use Emmanuel. He's no longer with us or whatever, but I'll use him as an example here. Emmanuel would not have been advising that Khan keep fighting. How many trainers have Khan had over his last 6 or 7 fights? I think 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
If he's had 3 or 4, the problem isn't his coaching, is it?
Nope.
Thank you. So if he comes to me and he's like, Stormy, I'm gonna have this big fight against Kel Brook. I need a trainer, man. Would you train me for this fight? I'd be like, fuck no. And I'll tell you why. I was like, if you're having to fight with Kel Brook for a purse because you need money, get anybody. Because you're going to get the money regardless. With me, you probably have a larger percentage. And I'm not saying like I'm a big trainer, but I'm saying if I were, this is hypothetical. But it's like the percentage you would have to pay me is not worth it. Get a new dude that don't nobody know. Because you're going to get the same fucking result anyway. And you keep most of your money in your pocket. Do you see what I'm saying?
Hey, yeah.
But my advisement to you is don't get your ass in that ring no more.
The only bad thing about that fight last night, I wish that he could have beat him more rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to see Khan stretch the hell out just for all that trash he was talking, just for all that playing around that he was doing. I just wanted to see him just get beat down. I mean, I enjoyed that fight from the first round all the way to the 6th round. I enjoyed to see him getting beat up, knocked around that ring all night. I just wish that, it could have lasted at least 12 rounds and then he knocked him out like the last 5 seconds or something like that.
But see, this is the problem. This is the problem. The way that Kel won the fight, the ref had to come to Khan's assistance because not even Bomac did it. You understand? So that's more hurtful. It is. At the end of the day, Khan was probably wishing to be knocked out. He wasn't going to quit and lay down because to quit in that situation against his UK brother and all that would have really, he couldn't go out in public after, So he was trying to hold on. He was trying to survive, and the ref helped him. But Kel was beating him down. And that was gratifying for Kel because there was a tremendous separation between the talent of the men, the character of the men. And so Kel can walk proudly with his head up high, and Khan now has been humbled in the most devastating of ways. So it has balanced itself out. I'll give you an analogy that you may not think about, but it's almost right on. Ali Frazier. Hold on. Ali Frazier. Ali needed Frazier to come back into the sport at the championship level because Frazier gave him a shot at the title that it was stripped away from him. Frazier defeated Ali and gave Ali his first loss. But from that point on, Ali sought to demean the man, put him down, call him Uncle Tom, all those things, right? Said all those nasty, horrible things. But Frazier was a stand-up black guy. He fought hard. He come up under certain kind of conditions that many people are familiar with from the Southern experience, and he made the most of what he could in his life. But Frazier had as staunch and strong of character as Ali, but he was turned into a villain by Ali. And as their careers went on, Ali was world renowned in everything. But Frazier, you would have thought that, you know, his humbleness when he lost to George Foreman twice. Who the hell fights George Foreman twice? Frazier did, not even Ali. You understand? So it shows the character of the men. But remember, Ali left here not necessarily being able to communicate anymore. Frazier left here with all his faculties intact and being able to forgive Ali. But think about it. Think about it. Yeah. I'm not putting any person down. I'm not slamming anybody, but I'm making you think about something from a different perspective and understand how karma, how life works in the universe. Think about it.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. But you know, Khan strikes me as one of those people that you can beat him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he done been knocked out a whole bunch of times, and he just, you know what I'm saying? He'll keep coming and talking shit because that's just what the type of person he is. You know what I mean? But you know, either way, you know what I mean? It was a good fight, and I mean, you kind of talked about this for a few minutes ago, but I'm not even really sure that Bomac could even, you know, have done anything to help Khan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even for sure why he even took that, you know, that opportunity to train Khan. I think that was I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the behind scenes is. I don't know if he just doing it, you know, Bomac just doing it because he just wanted the bread, but you know what I'm saying? I just think it was not a good idea to take him on as a client.
Exactly, which is why I said what I said when I talked about you can go get Joe Blow, the trainer, and let him be in Khan's corner and everything for the same outcome that you witnessed. Why did Bomac feel the necessity to attach himself to something like that? You can come and train in my gym, but I'm not going to be in your corner. You understand? Because that is not something that I want to associate with the progression that I'm making when I'm teaching boxing and training young men out here and getting them ready. Dude, it's like Khan brought people down with him. Virgil Hunter, Joe Goosen, Bomac. These are all people that work with him and got the same damn results. Am I line.
I forgot all about Virgil Hunter.
Yeah. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, again, when do people start learning lessons, bro? What do they say the definition of insanity is? Doing the same crap over and over and over again, hoping that you get a different result out of it. That's just ignorant.
Yeah, so, but that's all I had. I had to call in real quick. I'm about to get up out this house and get to moving around. So, but I wanted to hit you up before I didn't get the opportunity to call in. So, yeah, that's all I had.
Okay, man. I appreciate you, man. What you got going later for the food? What you got?
Well, I'm not gonna be cooking tonight. I think I'm going to probably like in the next hour or so. I think I'm going to a Brazilian steakhouse. You know, like Fogo de Chao.
Oh yeah, we got those here too, man. Enjoy yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, loosen your belt when you go there, huh?
Oh, I get to the end, so you know I gotta get it in.
Loosen that belt, brother. Yeah.
They got them caipirinhas, the Brazilian little drinks, the caipirinha with the muddled lime, and
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, them things be banging.
Dude, I love those little breads that they bring to your table. You know,
you like them breads?
That little bread that's kind of crispy, but it's soft when you bite into it.
Nah, you tripping, Stormy. I gotta save that room for meat.
No. I'm just saying, I like them. I get the meat, man. Listen, the first time I went there, you know, I was having the salads and stuff and all that, and I realized, I was like, oh, I ain't supposed to do it this way. I'm supposed to do it the other way. Have them bring all the meats and stuff and have a little bit of salad or something. But yeah, listen, man, great place, great dining experience. Enjoy yourself and almost hurt yourself. That's how I put it when you go there, because that's not something you're going to do every week or whatever. But man, when you do, it's a great experience. You know, and I only got introduced to that place like within the past 10 years because I didn't know about it. I had heard of it and everything. Finally, I got introduced to it and I was like, yeah, man, that's a place I have to go. I have to go there at least twice a year. At least twice a year.
You gotta do it more than that. So I'm gonna give you a cheat code. So I used to go to Fogo de Chao probably like every other Friday, because every other Friday I had off or whatnot. And if you go at lunchtime, it's half off.
Okay.
So that's a little fat boy cheat code for you.
Thank you for that. And I will definitely lock that one in. Absolutely. But hey, man, thanks for your call, bro. Have a good day. Enjoy yourself. And, you know, we'll catch up next time.
You do the same, Stormy.
All right. Peace.
All right. Peace.
That's my man, Boxing and Barbecue. Bro, that's all right there, man. Great call. Yeah. Yes, sir. Man, Jose Diaz says, karma, of course. He says, if you don't listen to your elders, I just got 16 stitches in my head on the top of my left ear. I'm in the hospital. Oh, man, 704. Jose Diaz, sorry to hear that, bro. Speedy recovery to you. And please, when you get out of this situation, don't you go back out there doing stuff. Because remember, you got 2 ears, huh? So there's another one you can get messed up. You don't want to do that to yourself, brother. Learn. Use the force, Luke. This is what I'm telling you, man. Life is full of lessons. And let everybody know that you hear from Jose Diaz out there. He's saying, listen to the elders, huh? That's right. Yes, sir. The lines are still open, people. You can bring another call in the house, see what's going on. Huh? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah. I was going to play a little music backdrop while we were doing the show today, and I forgot to put the music on, but it's okay because we've had great conversation that have taken us beyond just, talking. So, and playing music. So, it says we got 45 watching. Out of y'all 45 on and dial in, huh? Boy, I tell you. It's like sitting in a classroom and don't nobody want to raise their hand and answer a question. Huh? Y'all just sitting there looking at the blackboard and cheating off of each other's papers. That's why more than half of the folks, they, fail. They flunk. And look at Laws D. What was that U.S. code? That U.S. code, Laws D is the same. It's, what was it? 00 plus 001 or something like that. I don't have to dial the number, man. You guys from outside, y'all should know what the international code is. Can somebody tell Laws D what the international code is to call? I think it's 001 or something, and then the number on the screen. I had told him to him once, but see, he called in only one time. That was like 6 months ago. And he been threatening to call ever since, everything, Come on, man. Jose Diaz says, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. He says, Stormy, that's the story of my life. Well, Jose Diaz, you got to change your path in life, bro. You should be getting tired of getting them knots and stuff upside your head, bro. I know I got a peanut-shaped head, but I'm going to tell you something. I ain't banging it all the time. You can believe that. And I know how to duck and dodge and weave and get out of the way for somebody else trying to bang it. So, yeah. Laws D, I think it's 001 or 100. It's something like that, but it's a plus sign in front of it. But I don't know what it is, man. I was trying to. When you guys dial an international number, you know what the code is for the U.S. Yeah. 704 Joe is saying, dial, call in. Yes, sir. Here we go. This might be Laws D. All right. Welcome to the show. Is this Laws D?
Stormy.
What's good with you, bro? Don't duck me, son. You finally called in. What's going on with you, brother? Good to hear from you.
Yeah, of course. I couldn't remember the code. I heard you say 001. So I thought, yeah, that must be it. So quick then, anyway. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. Glad to have this show going. We're starting to see more and more support for the call-in show, which is great. We got family out there such as 704 Joe and Big Homie Coop and Big Dose. These guys are out here helping promote the show and get people, stop in and show that support. And it's growing, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear that, Stormy. Good to hear your show's growing, brother. What did you think of yesterday's boxing with the Khan and Brook fight?
Dude, it was something, right? It's like It was a big fight. I know it was a big fight for your countrymen over there, but it was big over here because we could feel the energy off of that, you know. And I'm happy for Kell Brook, man. Kell Brook has had his detractors and everything, and I know that Khan was kind of like the country's son. You know, they've taken him under the wing. So there's been a lot of flack between the two guys and everything. But Kell Brook was a very stand-up individual. He fought a disciplined fight. He knew what he wanted to do. He went out and executed. And I spoke about how happy I was that he didn't get himself disqualified, because that could have happened if he wasn't, you know, under control of himself. So I enjoyed that. And when I saw him hurt Khan early on with what looked to be a jab, I was like, uh-oh, this ain't going to go very well. And it didn't. Not for Khan, anyway.
Yeah, in that first round, his legs were wobbling all over the place, weren't they?
Yeah, he looked like a newborn deer or something, the way he was staggering around there.
Yeah, he did. I've seen them legs wobble like that a few times over the years.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, Laws, being over there, what was the energy like there at home, you know, in your country with that big fight? Because that was a big fight, you know, according to your countrymen's standards over there. So what was that like?
Yeah, a lot of people were saying similar things, Stormy. The fight was past its sell-by date, but a lot of people were still looking forward to it. The people who I've spoken to actually knew a lad from work who was going to it. So yeah, it was a big fight, mate. I think a lot of people over here now are glad that Kell's got what he wanted, because a lot of it was built on, I think, Stormy, jealousy, because Khan, he had the backing of the DB team when he was boxed in the Olympics. He was selected for the fight for the UK, and obviously because he got the silver medal, he was on telly, and he had more promotion and backing from the likes of Matchroom and stuff like that more than what Kell did. And Kell had to box his way to get to where he was. And then obviously there's been the jealousy. I think Kell's been jealous of Khan because Khan was over in America and stuff. And then Khan's always belittled Kell, hasn't he? Saying he's not a better fighter than him. He's fought better fighters. He's the two-time world champion where Brook was only one. So yeah, and I just heard you say something about Kell not getting disqualified. I was saying that I thought something was tipping me to say Khan was going to win, only because I thought Kell's emotions would get the better of him, and his game plan would go out the window. I thought, you know, his emotions would get the better of him.
Right.
I never had Khan to stop Kell. I just thought Kell might throw his game plan away because his emotions might get the better of him, mostly.
Yeah, and it makes a difference, like I said, to be disciplined and hold yourself, because it can get away from you. And he was able to do that. That's why you have to give him an exceptional amount of credit, because, dude, it's easy to do that. Everybody's cheering for Khan. Khan has seemingly one-upped you through the entire promotional process. He's always had favorable, you know, the whole thing about promotion and things like that, and just the endorsement of the individual. It's always been, you've been second fiddle. So it's like, it's easy for a person to just snap and say, man, I'm just going to take this dude's head off, come what may, whatever. But he didn't fight like that. He fought like a guy. You know what? He fought Khan like Crawford fought him. How about that?
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah, he boxed an excellent game. I mean, his timing was his timing was impeccable. I thought his timing was spot on, and he was making Khan miss with a lot. Khan was throwing a lot of punches, but a lot of them were just they were missing. He was punching fresh air.
Right. And I take my hat off to the guy. Let me ask you a quick question because I'll forget to ask you. What was the country code that you dialed to get the call in?
00 plus 001. I just put 001 and then
001. Yeah, that's what I thought it was from the first time when I found out. But I'm writing it down here just in case so I could keep it next to me when someone wants to know that code. Is 001. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, Lost D, let me ask you this while I got you here. What did you think of the performance by Natasha Jonas, man?
Oh, fucking hell.
Dude.
I mean, I'm glad she won, but that was cherry picking at its finest, that. Fucking hell, you couldn't. That was fucking. It was worse than that fucking heavyweight fight. Did you see the heavyweight fight?
Yeah, I saw it.
Fucking hell, that was a fucking buzz driver. That brother was fighting. The white guy was a fucking buzz driver.
Dude, that was horrible. That was horrible.
Terrible.
But what I wanted to say about Jonas's performance, though, the combinations that she hit that woman with was straight up great. That was nice. Now she's put herself in an enviable position because Clarissa Shields is right there. And if she wants to make a bag of money and get her butt kicked at the same time.
I mean, I like Natasha Jonas. I like her. She's a nice girl. She's very well spoken and that. You know, she don't trash talk people, but if she was to fight Clarissa Shields, I think she'd get fucking wiped.
Yeah.
Get wiped out.
Yeah.
Definitely. Do you know who I hate more than anyone? That fucking Shannon Courtney. I can't stand her.
Oh yeah.
I cannot stand her. She's a baby. She got beat up and then went in hiding when she got beat up, and wouldn't do any interviews. And when she did, she was telling Cougar Cassius, she did an Instagram video live with him and told him to turn the comments off.
Wow.
That's a bad sport, that. But yeah, Stormy, let me ask you this, right? That Conor, I don't know if you've seen it. After the Cal Brook fight, I think you know about Conor Benn's been chasing Amir Khan for the last couple of months. Well, check out what he did yesterday. After the fight, he went into Amir Khan's dressing room, shook his hand, and then said, "Don't worry, I'll get Cal Brook for you. I'll finish him off for you." I don't know if you've not seen the video.
I didn't see the video, but I heard something about it, but I haven't seen it yet, the footage.
Yeah. That guy he's a fucking arsehole, man. I can't stand that Conor Benn, mate. Can't stand him. He talks shit, right? He says he wants to be a world champion. He wants to do this. He wants to do that. And all he wants to do is beat up old men. That's all he wants to do.
Yeah, I kind of see that now. I kind of see that. That's his trajectory. He's beating up on older fighters, faded fighters and stuff like that, and making it like he's something, you know. But listen, there's a young man by the name of Jerron Boots Ennis that'll take his call any day of the week. There's another man by the name of Virgil Ortiz that'll take his call any day of the week. There's another young man, lesser known, but I think it has a little more constitution than people are giving him credit for, named Imantius Stanionis, that will run a few of these guys out of the boxing ring. Not because he's such a great fighter, but he's got intestinal fortitude, something you used to hear Brother Kurt Sugar talk about all the time. Stanionis has got something inside of him that will break weak-hearted men down. And this sport
Yeah,
is full of a bunch of weak-hearted men. Yeah, some of them are talented. Some of them look great because they're matched perfectly. But at the end of the day, if it ain't in you, you can't call upon it. And standing on this is the type of fighter that will bring that out of some guys. Yeah. Yeah. And just because he happens to be Lithuanian, some people may look at that and be like, well, he's just a white dude, whatever. There are some people who come from certain parts of the world and the lives that they lived are a little more of a struggle than what some folks in the U.S. deal with. That's just the reality. A lot of Americans are spoiled, man. They are. You know? And when I say spoiled, I'm talking about the kind who don't even want to work a job and rather take assistance from the government. Won't get up and roll their sleeves up and go work at McDonald's or Burger King so they could say that they working for something. No, they'll rather take a check out of the mailbox when they've been sitting up playing the Xbox all damn day.
Yeah, there's a few of them over here like that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, well,
I'm telling you, I watch this stuff, man, and I'm old enough to say it. You understand? My first job, I think I was 14 or 15 years old. I was working at a car wash, Laws D, my very first job. And I remember at the end of that week, I don't know what the paycheck was. I'd be lying if I say I actually remember, but it was like $100 and something. It wasn't $200. After my first paycheck, I thought I had done something. You understand?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, brother. I know what you're saying.
You got people that don't have $200, and somebody say, hey, man, if you come out here and you clean my snow and my driveway for the rest of the winter, whatever, I give you $200-300 for the month. And it might snow maybe once or twice in the month, but you got $200-300 that you would not have had sitting on your ass at home playing the Xbox, right? And somebody tell you that's all you got to do for the money, and you say, shh, I ain't shoveling no damn snow for no damn $200-300. It's $200-300 you ain't got, brother.
Facts. Yeah, just don't worry, Stormy. There's plenty of them over here like that. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying when I was a kid, I had paper rounds here, there, and everywhere. Make up. I used to work on the local market at the weekend to make my money.
Yeah.
These things what you have to do. But yeah, Stormy.
Go ahead.
Go on. Sorry. No, go on. Finish up, bro. I was going to ask something.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, that's, but when I look at a fighter like Stanionis, that's the things that I could see. You know what I mean? And he's okay. He's a good fighter. I think he's a good fighter. But those things that I'm talking about that are under the surface that you can't see when you visibly lay eyes on him, you could see it when he fights and how he fights and what happens during the fight. See, there are questions that he asks people sometimes, and I've only seen like 3, maybe 4 of his fights. But each fight I've seen something, and it's that same something that breaks the other guy's will. And I'm like, that's very interesting because there's not a lot of fighters out here doing this, you see? And when fighters like that pick up on that, it's like a shark smelling blood in the water. Roberto Duran had that quality. When he just knew he could take a guy's heart, he would break them down systematically. That's when you would see him turn into a surgeon. It's not like, oh, he's scared of me, I'm going to go yell at him and make his heart jump out his chest. No, it's not that. It happens to be a thing where you ask a person certain questions and they don't have the answers and they don't have a way of figuring things out. Then you shut the doors on them and you suffocate them.
Yeah. Well, I definitely, like you say, I definitely come back, dig that. Like you say, there's people who are way more unfortunate than those who come from different struggles from from around the world. So yeah, if you spotted something, anyone can do that to fighters. I can go along with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who the kid is, but I'll keep a lookout for him. But that's what boxing needs. It needs them people to put these fucking diva boxers out of business, because, like we always say, Stormy, a lot of boxers today, all they want is to keep belts or keep the zero and don't want to fight nobody. But yet they want loads of fucking money, but they don't want to fight nobody. And that's why I'm always on people like Conor Ben, because the guy's a fucking straight up fraud. He ain't kidding no one. He ain't kidding me. There's people over here who he should be fighting. And there's fighters over here, and you don't even hear the guy.
Right. Well,
if he was to fight the guy who beat Josh Kelly, was it David Anavician? He gets wiped off Anavician, but he won't fucking mention his name. Yeah, he's on about going over and fighting these Americans. He ain't gonna fight Boots, and he's not gonna fight fucking Virgil Ortiz, because he gets dog walked off him. Plain and simple. But the man's going round trying to fight old ex-fighters. I don't like fighters like that. It's like as if they pick on the old and the weak. Do you know what I mean? Oh, he's weak or he's old. I'll fight him just because it's a name. I understand that fighters do that to build up the resume. Yes, I understand that. But this kid's been a professional boxer for 6 years. He's had 20 professional fights. The level of opponents what he is fighting now, he should not be fighting old Cal Brook or old Amir Khan and Chris Al. I mean, where the fuck did he dig Chris Algieri up from? He was dead years ago when fucking Spence finished him. Tommy Coyle is just a local fighter over here. Chris Algieri went life and death with Tommy Coyle. Okay, Algieri won, but did you see what Tommy Coyle did to him? So, yeah, Conor Ben can go to hell. He ain't fucking tricking me. Like I say, go call out Virgil Ortiz. You ain't lasting 2 seconds with it. Virgil Ortiz will smash him to pieces. And God knows what Boots would do to him. But yeah, I just wanted to ask you about him, because it seems that the American channels what I watch, a lot of Americans, I wouldn't say a lot of Americans, but the channels what I watch, a lot of them say, yeah, he looks good. And I'm like, no, he's a fucking con man. You don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that he's not good, but how good is he until he goes and fights a decent opponent, somebody with a pulse? That's what all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great stuff, man. You're absolutely right there, Laws. You're absolutely right. But hopefully he'll pick a guy. Maybe even Kell Brook might be the guy. And then Brook will get a chance to gain a higher acclaim by turning back one of these young upstarts who has so much, quote, potential. Because I think that Brook is the kind of guy that can handle a Conor Ben. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, I agree with that, Stormy.
And Brook is a strong man. I was very impressed with his condition for this fight. Man, he looked like he looked years ago, you know?
Yeah,
he didn't look old. I mean, physically. You know, physically, he did not look old at all.
No. He was in great shape physically, and like you say, he looked like he had reeled back 8 years or something. He looked like you say, the old Kell Brook of yesterday.
Right.
But yeah, I totally agree, Stormy. I take that off to the lad. I like Cal. I've always liked Cal. I like Amir Khan. I've got nothing against both of them. I was, like I say on the videos, at first, when I first found out it was getting made, I was like, nah, not interested in this shit. It's gone past its sell-by date. But then when I watched the press conference and I watched the gloves are off, I was like, I've got to watch this fight. It's overboiled, but it was a great fight. It only lasted for a couple, 6 rounds. But for me, it was a great fight, and a fight what needed settling before both fighters retired.
Yeah. Yeah, great stuff, man. So, you know, hey, man, we haven't done one of those. We only did one show together, Laws. We got to do another one of those shows. I still have the thumbnail and everything, the music that we played and stuff for that live stream where we did, you know, that show with the UK and the US. You know, we need to do another one of those, man. It was a great collaboration.
Yeah. It was good, that. Stormy, the best time to catch me, brother, is the weekend. If you got my email, haven't you?
Yeah, I got your email.
Yeah. I've got a new phone now, so I can my notifications for my emails come up. For some unknown reason on my old phone, they wouldn't come up. So I never knew what I had to go into my emails to look what was coming through. That's why I always missed them. But now I've got this new phone, I get all my stuff. But the best time to catch me, Stormy, is the weekend. Any time of the weekend. So we could say Saturday night or well, for me, because I'm 6 hours in front of you. But if you was to do it round about, say, 8 o'clock over here, it's Saturday or Sunday night, that would be perfect for me.
Okay.
What would that be in your afternoon, about 4 o'clock, something like that? 5 o'clock?
Yeah,
no,
something like something like that. 5 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you want to do something like that, Stormy, I'd be well up for that Sunday night, Sunday 8 o'clock over here.
Yeah, okay. We can do that. And what we'll do is probably make it like on a Saturday. Say if there's really no boxing. And right now there's going to be a boxing for the next few weeks, but things will slow up every once in a while. But we'll keep that in mind because, you know, on a Saturday or a Sunday, we can get something like that in. Because I enjoyed that, and I thought we gave a great presentation. You know, a lot of my ideas, man, when I have certain things in mind like that, nobody else is doing that stuff. So it's like, you know, you have to strike when the iron is hot. You know?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll get on it, Stormy. Well, definitely get on it, brother. Like I say, Stormy, send me an email. Send me an email, bro, in the week. Or like you say, when there's no boxing on, and I'm down for it, brother. I've got my new phone, so I'll see the notifications. And I'll get back straight back to you.
Sounds great, bro.
No problem.
Sounds great.
All right, Stormy.
All right, man. Thank you for your call, Lost D. Take care of yourself, bro.
Yeah. And you stay safe, brother.
All right,
speak to you soon.
All right, peace.
Bye-bye. Bye. Peace.
All right, we have my man Lost D, Punch Out TV, in the building on the call-in show. Glad to hear from the brother. Glad to hear he's doing well. Glad that they finally got that fight off the ground in the UK. Kell Brook and Amir Khan, man. Great stuff. Great stuff. Let's see what we got here. The chat really been going. I know I wrote a response in the chat while Laws was cooking for Picasso. He said, going back to Picasso's comment, he says, this donut place wanted me to cook breakfast and lunch, but they wanted me to slave behind the stove for $3.25 an hour. The stove was oily, plus I was 20-ish and couldn't cook. Well, according to my response to Picasso, I said you could have learned to cook from the experience, became a cook with the experience, and command a higher salary as a result of the experience. And you would have been responsible for cleaning that stove. And I'll tell you something. It may have sounded like a crappy experience initially. Huh? But who was pushed out into this world in diamonds and gold? Huh? Yeah, who? We got to start somewhere, brothers and sisters. You got to start somewhere. And that starting point for your life should always be something where you can reflect upon when you look back, and you take that experience and realize that there has been some level of progression from where you started to where you are. And a tidbit for you currently. If you can look back to where you've started and to where you are, and those there is no acknowledgement of progression, you're wasting yourself. And you're wasting the experience of anyone else around you because you're not applying yourself. You failure, get to the back of the class. Sit down, shut up, and learn something in life. Yeah. Now, Picasso, I'm not telling you to sit down and learn something in life. I was just speaking specifically on your statement about the experience that you had there and the short-sightedness that you may have encountered. I would take that maybe you were a younger person through that process or whatever, but a parent, a man, can say what I said because I understand that just because you started here doesn't mean you have to remain there. You can start here and ascend to here. And that's the way it should be. And if you've been able to ascend from here to there, there's nothing wrong with you tossing a lifeline back for someone else to follow the path. Yeah. Because sometimes in life, there are ropes for you to grab a hold to for someone else who has taken that journey. You just have to know what the keys are and be open to receive them. Not bawl and cry and shout that there are no keys. Because I can hand you a set of keys. But what lock will they pick? Your lock is up here, brother. Unlock it. Open it up to receive what life has to offer you. And you can ascend higher than the mountains, beyond the clouds, to the stars. Real talk. Let me going back to the chat. Jose Diaz, this brother got some life experience stories. I'm gonna have to create a show where I bring Jose Diaz on to talk about his life, man. This brother is funny. He says, I started cutting grass in my dad's company when I was 10. Stormy, I ran over so many sprinklers. Wow. You were just going, right? It was like you didn't even try to survey the landscape or anything. You were just out there ruining people's sprinklers and everything, and your dad got to come out his pocket and pay for that stuff, man. What you doing out there, Jose Diaz? And you still taking shots to the head today. What's up with that? It's like, when you gonna learn, brother? Stop the madness. I know how to fix that with Jose Diaz. We'll make him manager. Okay, because the manager, you don't have to go out there and get jacked up. You can just tell people what to do. And if they get jacked up, it's like, okay, the manager made a bad choice or decision or whatever, right? I'm just kidding with you, Jose, but man, that's funny. Some of the stuff you're saying, bro. Some of that stuff is just hilarious to me. Yeah. Drew Tight says, that's dope. He says, no live today, Stormy. Hold it down. Well, I'm holding it down right now. I don't know if I can do it this evening too, man, because, this is already 2 hours for me on my own, unless we do some kind of panel thing where we just bring people on or something like that. Khan Shonery says, I agree with that point, Stormy B, man. You have to start somewhere in life, and life is what you make it. Sylvestrial says, Stormy, who do you think Earl Spence will fight after he is to be victorious against Ugas? I think that Earl Spence should focus on your Dennis Ugas. And until that's over with, don't even say much. Don't even say much, because what will happen is if he's unsuccessful, if he doesn't get the type of victory that people would clamor for, then he's going to be held accountable for that and this and that. Focus on your Dennis Ugas, see where we can get going with that, and then go forward. That's what should happen with Earl. He's got a lot on his plate right now, and your Dennis Ugas is not an easy opponent. He's not. Some of you are not respecting what this man brings to the table, and that's okay, because in life, what has to happen sometimes is for people to be shown, huh? And then when you're shown, you're like, oh, you know, I didn't see that rock coming, you know, so therefore I got a bandage on top of my head. Yeah. Roderick Freelo says, preach. Votes UK says, WBC on that BS again. They just made a Union Jack WBC belt for Fury White. Why do you engage with the WBC and what they're doing? You didn't even have to come here and write that in the chat, because I don't give a damn about Mauricio Suleiman, the WBC, the WBO, the XYZ, the USA, or none of that. None of those belts, sanctioning bodies, do I care. I'm responding to a text message. What we got here? All right. We got 704 in the building. Is that 704 Joe?
No, this is Robert.
Oh, hey, Robert, what's going on with you? Robert,
hey,
is that Robert Freelo?
Yes, sir. Yes,
hey,
sir.
Man, how you doing?
Yeah, man, I just want to give props and salute to this chat, the LBC, the LBDC, DC, and all the family in the chat, man. Just want to, I was just caught what you were saying about Spence. I was on Brother Man's Loco earlier, talking about the Crawford and Spence fight.
Right.
And what I respect about your channel, I remember the first you was talking about after Crawford beat Porter. What I respect about your channel, and that's not to say that the other brothers, you know, they're neutral too. You can't help that what the crowd is, you know. So I'm not talking about the channels in general.
Right.
I'm just talking about the people. And I've been on Lady Chan's show, and it's a reverse effect. They're dogging out Spence and just completely disrespecting how great he is, and how he's ducking and everybody's riding Crawford. And I may come on there and say, well, wait a minute, now that's a 50-50 fight. Spence is the king at the 140-pound, 7-pound division at this time. You don't need to down him or knock him just to big up the next brother. And then I become a fanboy. And then the flip side is when I'm on other channels, I hear all of this disrespect for Crawford, like he's never been undisputed, or, you know, it's always something.
Right.
Porter was old. A lot of people said he wasn't going to beat Porter, let alone knock him out, you know.
Right.
And you stand up for him, or you just say, well, hold on now, brother, we shouldn't have to knock Bud or try to be psychiatrists or try to be businessmen or trying to be managers and make up fairy tales based on skill set. That's a hell of a fight, because Spence's strength could be his weakness, and Crawford's strength could be his weakness into that fight. So
Right.
that's what I really respect about your channel, because you stand up with your chest out, your chin up high, and you'll let a person know real quick your opinion. And then here's the funny part, and then we'll tell somebody politely not to kiss your ass and try to ride with what you say.
Well, this is the thing. I will hold what my opinion is to my vest, but I will not give that without being able to express why my position is what it is. It's never from discriminating, okay? It's always through assessment, evaluation, reevaluation, and also gathering data on the circumstances that will be revealing to, both parties involved when you're talking about who could be who. If you notice, like when I was just talking about Spence, when I was asked that question, who should Spence fight next after that? I was like, Spence should focus on Ugas. That's a hell of a task at hand right now. A lot of people feel Ugas beat Sean Porter.
I do too.
In a fight where he, I just got some news over a text message. It distracted me. When you look at the fight that Porter had with Spence, it was a lot of give and take. It was a lot of back and forth. And some people even feel like if the knockdown didn't happen, it could have easily made the decision different. The knockdown just happened to make it easier to give a favorable to Spence when we don't know what it would have been had the knockdown occurred. But this is the thing about your Dennis Ugas. He beat the crap out of Manny Pacquiao, bro. and people thought that Spence was going to beat the crap out of Manny Pacquiao because he had the fight first, right?
Right.
But why is it like dismissed what Ugas did? You see? And weren't people saying if someone wants to fight a unification with Earl, they should go get the belt from Pacquiao? Well, didn't Mr. Ugas do that?
In good fashion.
So now he's a formidable person, an opponent that you have to consider him at the very moment because that's the next fight on deck. And if it happens to go in the favor of Mr. Ugas, I don't want to hear excuses. But
I agree.
But the whole thing about that is like this. I'm not against either man. I'm for the sport of boxing. The two men that you speak of, 5 years from now, they're not even going to be there. Okay? Yeah. You're going to be talking about some new people. And guess what? Your loyalties to these individuals of the moment, that's going to change forcibly. That's why I've been here long enough to know the difference, and I can speak about those differences. I don't care what the other channels and other people. I was listening to that show that you're talking about earlier today, and I heard a lot of the comments and everything. I wrote some things in the chat, like I put a popcorn emoji up there with some flame and, laughing and stuff, because it's like, it's amazing how people were like going tooth and nail in head first for all of this. It's a sport, and you have favorites. You have the guy you like, you have the guy you don't like, whatever. They have rivals and all of that. But at the end of the day, how much of the sport has you really learned? I learned a lot, man. I've shown and observed and shared a lot. Maybe even opened people's minds to some things. But at the same time, I'm here for a season. I'll be gone. The legacy I leave behind will be so consistent and so strong that people can go back and refer to it. But I don't do this, as you said a moment ago, with my chest stuck out. I do it from the standpoint of being able to be more of what we call selfless than selfish.
I get it.
I do this because I love it, man. It's like I can share this. It's like there should be, and this is not ego, 200 people in here listening to this show. You know why? Because of the level playing field, because of the balance of what I give. I always maintain that I can offer what happens in life as well as the sport of boxing. They go hand in hand with one another Because every day you live on this earth, it's a battle. It's a fight. No matter how large or small the battle is. And the thing about it is most people don't look at life that way. But if you change your thinking a little bit, you can cope and deal with life better. How many people you know today, they complain, they're depressed, they just don't feel, this and that. It's like, it's a struggle. Oh, I don't know why. It's like, why do I feel this anxiety and this and that? You know why? Because the world is coming at you fast, hard, frequent. And there's no instruction manual outside of elders' experience, which people no longer like to rely upon.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up, old man. You can't tell me what to do. Bam! Goes out there and gets shot. Now in the hospital and don't have insurance and don't have this and that. Or what? It's like, okay. But when the old man was trying to tell you something, you didn't want to listen.
And the old man's still around.
You see what I'm saying? And that hurts the community. Huh? And who are the community? The community can be like your corner men in boxing. You got a cut man. You got a person to hold the spit bucket. A person that'll put the grease on your face, the ice on your back of your neck, and stuff like that. And then your lead trainer, huh? And that's usually the wise men from the community who've been around. So it's like, if you don't utilize that stuff, that's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
But don't complain when you lose your fight. And don't come crying to me saying, can you train me? Fuck no. You're untrainable. How about that? You see?
Yeah.
And that may sound harsh, right? But it's not harsh because we're talking about life here. Life comes at you fast, hard, frequent. Didn't I say that? Huh? And it's if you ain't prepared, if you don't have tools, huh? If you don't have life jackets, parachutes, huh? Bumper guards, airbags, what's going to happen to you?
You're going to fall short.
And if you don't have these things, shouldn't you be trying to learn and find out where you get them? Yeah.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? All this, I'm not telling you nothing that isn't out there and available and accessible to you. I'm just another soundboard and vessel that is here to put it out. But it's your choice if you want to listen to it or not. I can be talking about other channels. I can be beefing with people and doing other stuff, stupid stuff, and have 300 or 400 people listening to me on BS. But I'll take this 49 that's watching today, because even out of that 49, maybe 10 will really understand what the hell is going on. What else you got, Rob?
No, I agree with you 100%, brother. You can see that the cup half full or you can see it half empty. And it's up to you to step up and make the choices. That's what separates the men from the mice. But I salute to you. I appreciate you having me on. I also salute to all the brothers in the LDBC for everything they do. And I enjoy listening to all of y'all, and I support all of y'all brothers, man. And you have a good day, Stormy.
Check this out before you go.
Yes, sir.
About the cup. I'm going to add on to that for you.
All right.
The usefulness of the cup is in its emptiness.
Mm.
If it has something in it, you can't use it.
Mm.
So, to understand, just like in the Matrix, when Neo talked to the little girl when he was going to see the Oracle, and or the little kid, and they were talking about the spoon and being able to bend the spoon with your mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
First, you have to realize that there is no spoon. It's as to see it but not see it, as if it's not there. The usefulness of a cup is in its emptiness. So when you invite a guest over and you ask them, hey, would you like a drink? Yeah, I'll take a whatever. And you say, okay, and you go to the cupboard and you pull a cup out. Now you've provided something to put your guest's drink in, and you can hand it to them. But if all your glasses in the sink are dirty and full of something and been used, now you can't really pass the beverage on to the guests because they have nothing to put it in. Wash your damn dishes is what I'm saying. You see, you feel me?
Yeah, that's a good one, Stormy.
Yeah, you tie it all together, bro. It's not rocket science, but it is a science. And what do we call boxing? A sweet science. There you go. So I appreciate you calling, bro. Thank you so much. Continue to support the show, and I will continue to do my part, man. I will.
Sir. Well, all right, my brother. You have a nice evening.
All right, you too. Peace to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What a great call that was. I enjoy that. To the max. To the max. But there are some people that don't understand these things, man. And I don't mind helping. But that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. You know? And I know we've had a lot of conversation going on in the chat, and I wasn't able to keep up with everything due to the phone calls, but I really appreciate the phone calls, man. That's what the show is all about. And we try to do so much to bring people together, share things. There's a reason for all of this. We have purpose. Some of us don't recognize purpose, but that's okay. Some of us don't. But yeah, been a great call-in show. Appreciate everybody out there, man. We almost made 100 likes today. And I'm sad that we didn't get there. We should get there. We should have 100 likes every call-in show, man. But our poll, if you would like to see Jaime Munguia face, who would you like to see Jaime Munguia face next? Overwhelming 51% says Charlo. 25% says Triple G. Lyra, 17%. And Zanabek is 6%. We'll see. You know? We'll see. But we're going to end that poll for now. It jumped up to 55% after refreshing. So that's cool. But you guys are coming around. I appreciate you. You know, showing the support for Stormy out here. Really do. We try to get a lot done. A little bit of time. And I may be able to come back this evening in Drew Titan's time slot. I've got to check on some things first. And if I can, I will. You know, and I'll probably make it a panel show where we can come out and have conversation out here. But yeah, great call in. That's what we do. Let's see here. But we're going to get on up out of here, you guys. I'm sorry. I got so many messages coming through. And I can't answer everything right now. But I will pay attention. Come back. But hope everybody have a great week ahead. And we catch you guys next Sunday. Peace to everybody. Shout out to the mighty LDBC.